Hi, this is Jim Welsh from macrotides.com. Thanks for tuning in. I think global growth is going to be slower in coming years based on a number of factors that are weakening and potentially will reverse in the next 5 to 10 years. We're now going to look at demographics. To state the obvious, economic growth depends on having enough bodies to produce the goods and services every society needs. The major economies are facing a demographic headwind in coming decades that will keep economic growth slower than in the past when birth rates were far higher. Since 1950, the global fertility rate has been cut in half, falling from 5 births per woman to 2.5 in 2015. By the end of this century, the United Nations projects it will fall below 2.1, which is the replacement rate. Once it falls below 2.1, global population will actually shrink. The working age population in Europe peaked in 2012 and topped in China in 2015. In the U.S., although the baby boom wave of retirement, which began in 2011, is ongoing, the working age cohort is still growing, but at a snail's pace. However, the fertility rate in the U.S. has fallen by more than 14% since the financial crisis, which suggests the working age population in the U.S. could begin to shrink within the next decade. Immigration is the quickest way to boost a country's working age population, but is currently out of favor in the United States. With the exception of Germany, immigration has faced a growing backlash throughout Europe, mirroring the rise in populism. Labor market growth is a primary factor in determining any economy's long-term growth potential, along with changes in productivity. While most voters in advanced economies desire better economic growth, few understand or know the link between an increase in immigration and how it can lead to faster GDP growth. Public opinion about immigration is often shaped by demagogic politicians who often prefer to prey on the public's lack of economic knowledge. China has designs on being the dominant global power by 2049, but will have to overcome a huge surge in the number of people who will be older than 65 by 2052. Japan began to experience a similar surge in the late 1980s, which undoubtedly has been a contributing factor to the stagnation of the Japanese economy since 1990. The Chinese Communist Party exercises an authoritarian control over the Chinese economy and its citizens. But this demographic shift is likely to prove more problematic than they realize. The U.S. is also experiencing an increase, even though it is more gradual. The rise in the number of aging Americans over 65 will weigh on growth in the next 30 years. Demographics are truly a headwind for global growth. Thanks for tuning in. Hope something good happens for you today.